Libra, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it, Libra. Happy day. We are at the end of Aries season. We're about to move into Taurus season, end of the week. Very exciting. I'm ready for this. Well, that's my personal opinion. Sorry. I think we all should be as a collective. That moving into Taurus season, it's earth element, and it's really going to help start soaking up some of this water that we have been experiencing nonstop for the last however long. There's this cluster of planets in Pisces. It has heightened the water element. It's really highlighted difficult situations with people, relationships, dynamics, places that we have to do the work. We just kind of have to grin and bear it and get through it. Hopefully finding creative solutions, inventive approaches to the issues and problems, but also like bringing awareness to who and what is like for us and who's not, right? Where there's resistance, where there's struggle, where people refuse to kind of work in reciprocity, find balance, find harmony, etc. And it's not easy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot we kind of have to keep track of. There's a lot that's really annoying, but that's why I'm looking forward to Taurus season, because like I said, it kind of is going to ground out some of this intensity that we've been experiencing. It's also a great way to like, as we've been investing in self during Aries season, it's a great time to start bringing those things into manifestation, seeing what you have to work with, and then also figuring out how you can kind of get from point A to point B. That's why I like to start these readings off with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out some of those blocks, limitations that we might be coming into. It's also a really good time to set your own intention, Libra, especially if you've come into this reading with something on your heart, something on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over, be open to receive. Great way to personalize these collective readings. You can do it for any reader on YouTube. It works. Spirit always wants to speak to us, right? And I also do individual readings. I offer a variety of healing wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you are interested in having me look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, etc., or if you are looking for more of a rebalancing of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're operating out of that space of balance, being grounded in who we are and what we want, we're better apt to bring happiness and fulfillment into our lives, right? Otherwise, we're choosing things that are short-lived or that have a lot of manipulation, confusion, trickery around it, etc. That's not fun. Good learning lessons, but not fun. All right. So if you're interested in any of my services, I would be honored to help, love, support in whatever way possible, Libra. All that info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love, Mama. Amen. All right, Libra, clear the board. All right, so you know, it's been a lot. There's been this vacillation, like I said, back and forth between fire and water element, which is really just stirring the pot. And here's the thing, there's a lot of support in the astrology. There's actually more than like maybe even what we see in front of us, because the tension, the messiness is definitely clouding. And I mean, I'm a huge believer shifting in perspective just to make it easier on you for your own sanity, etc., right? Like when we are struggling, when we are not seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, it's a great time to just kind of flip that script and say, well, what am I grateful for? What can I what can I sit and just reflect on and recognize the beauty, the blessings that are in my life? It's not easy to do because we want to work out and sort our problems. And it looks like whatever problems you have been dealing with have been happening for quite some time. Yeah. And you're still in the process, right? Capricorn, discipline, seriousness, hard work. So really kind of putting intention towards something that's been very difficult, something that you've definitely had to bust your ass in order to overcome. What I love is your overarching energy for this week is where you take the risk, there is going to be the reward, right? In order for the universe to work with you, be willing to take a risk and go down the rabbit hole to discover a new world. It's leading to peace. I think that part of where you're feeling frustrated, where you're feeling trapped, where you're feeling like things have not really changed, even though you keep putting in the work, it's because new direction needs to be taken. And I know that feels a little ambiguous. Right now, Uranus is in Taurus. So it is that proverbial finding creative solutions with how we're dealing with problems and issues. And so specifically that looks like that we got to make sure that as we're approaching something, kind of looking at the patterns, looking how we've shown up, looking at what the, what's been said, what's been done, that proverbial cause and effect, right? Well, if I did it this way, then this is the result. And switching that, changing it up a little bit, trying something new, inventive. And here's the thing, I kind of feel like you know what this answer is, Knight of Wands. Maybe you're like shaming yourself for it. Maybe you're feeling like it's not a mature thing to do, or it's not necessarily something that you would like normally revert back to. But it feels like you already have this idea, this understanding in mind, but you're a little bit nervous. And it's keeping things stuck in this karmic loop. Full circle is in your blocked energy. So this is a situation that needs to come around full circle. There's something around this that maybe this is a lot of our self-worth, self-value is being put into focus right now. So this could be about what you feel like you deserve, or it's just as simple as you keep trying it the same way and it's just not getting you any results, right? But as you start putting voice to your truth, it's going to start shifting the perspective. And I'm not saying just for you. I feel like this is more people around you that need to see things in a different way. Something has happened over again, and I feel like this is a repeated pattern, and it's actually highlighting, it's bringing new information to light, because people, situations around you are starting to see the reality of what something is. And in a way that it is highlighting, I'm hearing their bad behavior, right? Whatever difficulties, obstacles that you've been coming across, this feels intentional. It feels like something is intentionally trying to do it to you. It's almost like they're reading out of a playbook. Look at this guy, and no shade to the Knight of Pentacles, but he takes a really long time to get it. He is the slowest moving knight, and it's kind of like, what do they say, thick-headed or whatever that is. When someone's just not getting the point, that's definitely how this energy feels. They're not getting it. They don't even really care to try, is what I'm seeing. They're too busy hammering out their plan. They're too busy executing their plan is what it shows. But what I will say to your benefit this week is it definitely does feel like the energy is shifting, and shifting in your favor. I'm seeing this because you have been dedicated, you have been committed, and you will continue to do so. And at the end of all this, we have peace, right? So you are moving in that direction. It's just because you're finding yourself in the same place all over again, it's really stressing you out. You feel like you're digressing versus progressing. progressing, right? That you're not necessarily moving forward. You're doing the best that you can with this person, individual, who really just doesn't want, I don't know, they want something with you, but I feel like the way that they're going about it is just like really inappropriate. They want you to work with them. They want to work on a team, but at the same, again, it's just the manner as to which they're dealing with it, right? Let's see. Yeah. Maybe trying to get money out of you, taking away your sense of stability. This is someone who is very focused on money, who's focused on home, on family, especially if you share finances. Yeah, 100%. This is just someone who like doesn't want you around. They want to take whatever they can take from you, and then they put up these really strong boundaries. Let's see what this Knight of Swords is. And it looks like out of it, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of like planning. There's a lot of planning over with whomever, whatever you're dealing with. Okay, I'm hearing, Libra, this is like, you know this, you've been through this actually a bunch. And the reason that it hasn't worked out in the past is because it does stress you out. It stresses you out to the point that it's causing confusion, frustration, etc. I also feel like that's why you won't take certain risks, because there is a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. I also feel like that's what this person's situation is banking on, right? They kind of know how to push your buttons or trigger you, etc. And so they're going to do those tactics. It's weird. It's like they want something from you. Whether it's just you sticking around, you constantly feeding into the relationship, Two of Cups, pouring into it when they don't have to do anything, but then they don't really want you. So it's a really weird, it's someone who can't make up their mind or is just extremely selfish, you know, in the way that they feel like everybody has to cater to them. Maybe even causing a lot of conflict, a lot of drama, a lot of fights. But that's again their mode of control. And that's where Spirit's saying, like, it's better to not pay attention. Like, one of my friends always says, let it roll off your back. It's like water off a duck's back, right? And this is exactly what it's showing. Like, whatever chaos, whatever mechanisms this person is using to get at you, you know it. Sometimes that makes it harder to like turn a blind eye to it, but just don't internalize it is what I would say. Easier said than done, right? What I love in this King of Swords though is like, look at his heart chakra. It feels protected. It feels like I'm not going to let anything permeate this unless it reigns as truth. That's what the sword suit is all about. It's information, it's truth, it's justice, it's being able to like deliberate between right and wrong. And that's where I feel like it's been easy for you to get sucked into some of this stuff because of how this person's situation deals. But here's the thing, I like the Weaver. It goes back to what I was talking about, that Uranus and Taurus, like really finding creative ways, reweaving the pattern. You know, that's how I'm hearing it. Like, you don't have to keep moving in the same linear direction. If anything right now, that's counterintuitive, and you kind of know this. You're at a crossroads. You have the opportunity to kind of dictate how you're going to approach. Do you want to get wrangled back into this cycle again with this person? Or are you actually going to take a risk? Are you going to take a risk and assert what you know to be true from a space of power and strength? I do think that you have to do a little bit of legwork in order to make this happen. Like, it's not as simple as saying like, screw you, don't talk to me, or I don't want to be dealing with this anymore. It's like you also have to put a plan into action, which again, King of Swords is really good about doing. Spending some time doing your research this week. How do you want things to look? How do you want them to fare? What are the steps that you need to do in order to make that happen? And then getting on board with it, actually following through. I definitely feel like as you take the risk, this situation is going to come full circle. I feel like you will be validated. You will be confirmed as to all the things that have been happening behind the scenes, or things that people don't necessarily see. And it feels good, but it is going to require a little legwork on your part, Libra. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I hope it helps, though. I hope that you found messages that resonate for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the blessings, all the support you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending love and blessings back your way.